for the first time on this podcast, and it is very, very overdue, but we finally have a dedicated episode to AEW. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 9 of Under the Middle Rope. I'm your host, Jose Taboada, and yes, very, very overdue, and that was just strictly because there's a lot more consistency in terms of shows with WWE, especially pay-per-views, and I know people were suggesting topics in regards to WWE, so it was very heavy, and I guess, again, it's just not to favor one over the other. It just worked out, but finally, it's AEW content. And of course, the reason for it, because tomorrow is Double or Nothing, and with pay-per-views not happening too often for AEW, I think it's about 4 or 5 a year, this one definitely feels pretty special, and there is so much to get into. 7 matches on the card for the pay-per-view, and everybody's back. The current Under the Middle Rope champion, Pete Atkinson, Andrew Woltman, everybody's favorite, Stacey, he's also back, and for the first time, we have 5 people in total making predictions, and of course, that is the returning Alex Mirza. And again, everybody has opinions, everybody has thoughts, so much to talk to, so much to get into, no time to waste. Let's get right into it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our Double or Nothing predictions. All right, everybody, welcome to the discussion. Yes, it is a large crowd, as you can see, so let's run through them one by one. First of all, the man who remembered to keep his lights on, and of course, our current Under the Middle Rope champion, Mr. Pete Atkinson, the man who is threatened to come to Canada if I don't send him food, Mr. Woltman, Andrew Woltman, my original podcast co-host buddy, RJ Stacey, and new to the predictions is the man who loves AEW with a burning passion so much that he will die for AEW, Mr. Alex Mirza. Gentlemen, welcome. Hello, how are y'all doing?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Okay, so yes, for the first time we are doing AEW content, which is exciting. So much to go through. 7 matches on the card. Should we get right into it, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Explain. Of course, once again, the Under the Middle Rope Championship is on the line, so we're all going to be making predictions. Person with the most predictions wins. So Pete is hoping to not have the shortest reign on the history of this podcast, because if not, then he's guaranteed till at least June 14th if he holds on, which is I'm sure, which is what he wants and which is what nobody else wants on this podcast. Okay, so 7 matches. The buy-in match will not be included, because if we did include the pre-show matches from WWE's pay-per-views, why on God's green earth will we include Private Party versus whoever the hell they're facing? So it is what it is. So let's get right to it. Britt Baker, Chris Statlander made the fatal. It was made after the fatal 4-way for the number 1 contendership for the women's championship. Nyla Rose's women's championship. Britt attacked Chris. Nothing to it. Straightforward. Pete, we'll start with you on the predictions, and we'll make our way around. And his sound has completely gone AWOL. So, Wolf, let's start with you then in the process.
Here's the thing, and this isn't just going to be me knocking WWE. Like, the entire time I'm going to try not to do that. But even like the lower matches on the card, I even have some sort of vested interest in. Like, there feels like there's some story behind it. So like Britt Baker, she's just kind of been the heel in the division, running everyone down. It feels like Bayley's character, if WWE had, had the ambition to go further with it. Like, they've done all these packages. They've even made the little side jokes at Tony Schiavone. I just feel like there's investment in the characters here. And, AEW's had some trouble with their women's division. I feel like they're finally starting to commit to it and, like, create some characters in it. I don't feel like we should sideline Britt Baker yet. Chris Statlander, she's great. She's going to have her time, but Britt Baker should win this match.
Let's go down to RJ.
Yeah, I'm with you here, man. It feels like since the get-go of AEW, they really want to build Britt Baker up a little bit. And I think that she is on her way to becoming champion pretty quickly. Excuse me. I really like Chris Statlander. I really like her look, and I really think she has a good future in the business. But they got to go up right here.
Let's go with the next spot.
So I've seen Chris Statlander actually before AEW. I saw her at I think it was Shine event here in New York. She's really great in the ring. I'm a big fan of her. She has a good look. I'm not a huge fan. I've made it pretty known of how AEW sort of presented her, as almost kind of a little too heavy on the, out there. Oh, she's an alien. Oh, she boops you on the nose and she doesn't speak English and all this stuff. And I don't know, that it really isn't my cup of tea. I was on the fence about Britt Baker at first as well. I thought kind of some of her heel material was kind of forced in some areas, such as going after Tony Schiavone. Like, what's that going to lead to? Britt Baker versus Tony Schiavone? I don't know. But she's done some really great stuff. Britt Baker, I think she's definitely sort of elevated herself to a position where she needed to be before and is now. I think definitely because she's been there almost every week during this whole quarantine thing, and Statlander unfortunately has been unable to appear at every show. I think definitely Britt Baker's the way to go here.
Pete, are we good to go? Oh my goodness, Pete, poor soul. Poor soul. Okay, so I'm going to go next then as Pete really tries to figure out what's going on. This is
Can you actually hear me?
There we go. Yay. Boy, that was a scare. Pete. Say something, Pete. Please, your voice. Let's go to me in the meantime as we really try to figure out what's going on with...
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Can
now
you
you're
hear
good. Yeah.
us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear the world? Okay, I'll go with me for now. We'll see what's going on with Pete. Interesting start here. I'm gonna go with Britt as well. Solely, the three of you guys already said it. Just there's just so much. They're building her a lot. It was like they're from the ground up, nearly from day one. So it's hard to why you start to see why you don't go for Britt in this case. But again, like this is like I said on the card. When you look at this from a card standpoint, this is just simply like a somewhat of a throwaway match. But even though like Wolf City had everything, there's some appeal to everything. So in the meantime, we did get Pete back. Okay, Pete, go.
Hey,
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I just tried rebooting it. It seems to be working.
There we go. We're all okay. So let's make it prediction. Let's go.
Right. I'm going with Britt Baker. I think you've already seen Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose before, and I feel like Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker's happened a few times. Chris Statlander's got the better of her on those occasions. I think they're going to give one back to Britt Baker this time. So I'm going with Britt Baker.
All right, so we're all unanimous here. We're all unanimous here, which of course is very popular on this podcast. But we'll see if there's some difference as time goes on. MJF, Jungle Boy, and of course this all somewhat stems back to when MJF tweeted a few weeks back that something was devastatingly wrong. Of course, there was some genuine concern with that tweet, and turns out he was just suffering from a devastating hangnail injury.
They suck, man.
They do suck. No, I will agree with you. They are terrible. Obviously,
that man's a warrior.
Obviously, some people, maybe me, were a bit thrown off with the tweets and how it was presented. But of course, we're all marks, and everything's a freaking work, isn't it, gentlemen?
That's a great line. Where'd you get that from?
I have no idea where I got that from, but it is pathetic in the meantime. Let's start with Wolf again.
Well, I think that this is one of those matches where it really could go either way, and that's part of the appeal here. Like, they definitely want to protect Jungle Boy. This isn't going to be a squash match. Jungle Boy definitely has a future. I'm leaning more towards MJF, though, because I feel like should Moxley retain, they're going to need, like, a heel challenger. And maybe we start building up MJF. I mean, if this was a year ago, MJF was not ready. I don't think we'd rush him right into that position. But I think, we're ready to see MJF in the main event scene. And I feel like him against Moxley, that would be a great program. So I'm going to go with MJF because I'm better than you, and Lex knows it.
Well, nobody's ever doubted that, Wolf. Let's go to RJ.
Yeah, I got to go with Wolf again here. I keep copying his answers, but got to go with MJF here. I think it's just the way that he's been built up, coming off this injury. I don't think he's going to lose his first pay-per-view match coming off this injury. I do like Jungle Boy, though, and I think they have a lot of plans for him. The looks there, he's young. He's got a lot of potential, but this is MJF's time, and I think that he could potentially be the next challenger for the world title.
Lex, for those that don't know what Lex's mindset are, I know Lex is not directly fond of Jungle Boy, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I like Jungle Boy. I like
okay. Because I know
I
you
don't
like
Marco Stunt. I don't like Marco Stunt at all.
There we go. That's the guy. Sorry. That's the guy that Lex's wants.
Thank you, Wolf.
Who do you got?
Well, so these two had a match on Dynamite, I think a couple months ago, that I thought was one of the best Dynamite matches they've done so far. not just because like it was a fantastic, like it was on level of like Omega versus Pac or anything like that as far as just like a crazy exciting match, but as far as like accomplishing what it needed to do, I think it did everything it needed to do perfectly. I think MJF and Jungle Boy are perfect like opponents made for each other. MJF is a great young up and coming heel. He's got great psychology. I hate to use that word. I feel like Brian Alvarez, but he's great at what he does. Jungle Boy is he's got a lot of potential, a lot of upside. He's going to be a big star one day. He's got ways to go, but I think he's definitely someone who's earmarked to be a huge star in AEW and beyond. And like I said, they had a great match on Dynamite, and I'm sure this one's going to be just as good or better because it's on pay-per-view. But I got to go with MJF. He's on a winning streak right now. He has not been pinned or submitted since he joined AEW. He's lost one match, and it was like a fatal four-way match where he wasn't even pinned. So I think they definitely have to keep that going. They definitely have to keep that streak alive. I think without question it's going to be MJF who wins. And hopefully if he goes to feud with Moxley, that'd be fantastic. They're two of the best promo guys AEW has besides Jericho. So I would definitely be down to see that. So I'm going with MJF.
Mr. Atkinson.
Only one person's winning this match. It's MJF.
Simple as that.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay, great. All right.
MJF.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, I like this. Yeah, I'm going with MJF as well. I mean, like, it's
Of course.
Riveting.
Keep in mind that I was like, I had a good look at the card, studying everything. I had my decision before we came on. That very clear. But no, you're all right, and like he's been fantastic. He's like definitely one of my favorite. Like I would get an action figure of MJF. Like that's something that could be worth money down the road for sure. Like that's how good of a guy he is. It doesn't make sense. I know Wolf's face is what it is, but it's true. It doesn't make sense. But
Face.
This is what it is.
But yeah, look again. Like, all your points are true, and I think, like I said, I do think MJF is definitely one of the more better talents in AEW, just as a whole, not as a face, not as a heel, just a genuinely good talent, a good promo, a good worker. So why not continue that? And yeah, I do want to see Mox and MJF at some point in time. So let's move on, shall we? The AEW Women's World Title match. Nyla Rose defending her championship against Hikaru Sheeta. Sheeta, of course, winning that fatal four-way on May 13th on the episode of Dynamite. Rose attacked Sheeta with a kendo stick not too long ago, which suddenly that converts it to a no disqualification, no count-out match. That should be interesting. So let's reverse here. Let's start with Pete.
Yeah, I think Nyla Rose has just got that title, and I can't see her losing it this quickly. Cody and other people come out on how high they are on her, and I don't think they're going to risk putting it on a non-English speaker again straight away because there was a little bit of mixed reaction to Riho, so I don't think they're going to go straight to putting it on Sheeta as well. So I'm going Nyla Rose.
Lex.
See, I agree with Pete going into this, but the more I thought about it, I think I got to go with Hikaru Shida on this one. I think Nyla Rose is very, very talented. She's very good at, very good, for her size, her agility, everything she can do. She's very talented. I think we have to take into account the fact that she hasn't been on TV the past couple of weeks. Not her fault at all because of the quarantine and everything. She couldn't make the tapings. That's not her fault. But Hikaru Shida has been dependable. She's been there every week, pretty much every week. She's had very good matches on TV. And I think if they want to build, and currently I think definitely the most talked about star in that division on AEW is Britt Baker right now. And I think if they want to go in that direction with her challenging for the title, they want to put it on Hikaru Shida, even if it's as just a transitional champion. I think because they're the two that are there. They're the two that are going to be there, for the next few weeks at least. I think we saw everyone praised the match they had on Dynamite where Britt Baker got her nose broken. I think if they want to have a good women's championship rivalry that people can get behind and get excited for, I think with the current landscape, I think the way to go is Sheeta versus Baker. So I got to go with Hikaru Shida. Even if it's only temporary, I got to say I think because Nyla Rose can't be there, I think that's where I think that's where they should go.
Mr. Stacey.
So I was on the fence in this one too because of the points that both these guys just made. It really was hard for me to see Nyla losing the belt, but from the points that Lex just made is that she hasn't been there. This just screams transitional champion to me. Like we just talked about earlier about how I think that Britt is probably the next contender for the title. I think they flip the belt here and put it on Sheeta before they do that. So I started this morning with Nyla Rose, but I'm shifting gears and I'm going with Lex on this one.
Yeah.
Wolf, wait, this is getting interesting. Wolf.
Sheeta, same reasons. As long as we get more of this really funny, Tony Schiavone, Britt Baker content, I really dig it. And I just want to keep. I don't care if it doesn't go anywhere. I'm entertained by it. But frankly, Nyla Rose has been great, but she does feel like a transitional champion in that regard. And they have made a good point to build up Sheeta really highly while this has been going on. So I'm going to say Sheeta. And then that leads to Britt Baker and possibly Tony Schiavone.
Huh.
To get just up and drag, it'll be like Tina Schiavone.
Well,
no, not like that. I just mean like come to the ring with her,
You've all made excellent points here, and I feel like no matter what direction it go with, Britt is next, and I feel like she could work fine with both. But in saying that, I really don't see Sheeta winning. I'm gonna stick with Nyla here. I'm gonna go with Pete here. I just think they want to keep the title on her. I mean, I
sure
I
they
think
want to.
like I think like my prediction pick is Nyla. My somewhat hard go-to is Sheeta, but I just predictions wise, I do think that Nyla continues to reign, and then I think they do want to set up Nyla Britt. We'll see what happens. I'm not 100% confident on it. I think Pete is for the most part, but that's just that's what I'm gonna know. So there's our first split there: 3 Sheeta, 2 Nyla. If everything else stays the same, this is what's gonna decide our title or championship, which is one interesting way to determine that. For the first time, a new championship will be debuted. Well, not for the first time ever, but like a new championship will be debuted in AEW. Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer. It is a finals of the TNT tournament that started way back when in March, I believe. And of course, Lance Archer has looked strong in his debut since he debuted with Jake the Snake Roberts. That surprise debut, shocking everybody. And of course, Cody's looking to earn this championship after he lost his opportunity to capture the AEW World Championship. And of course, maybe a little bit of revenge after Jake the Snake put a snake on Brandy, which was a sight.
2 snakes.
2 snakes. I forgot about the second snake. So that's obviously entertaining. And of course, everybody's favorite boxer, world boxer, and WWE Hall of Famer Mike Tyson to present the TNT Championship to the winner of Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer. Once again, let's start with Pete on this, and then we'll continue this. I'll mix up the order in a bit, but Pete, let's start with you.
I'm going to go with Lance Archer. I feel this title's almost been made for him. With this tournament coming in, he's shown his dominance, and I don't think they're going to have him lose this early. I think there's going to be heelish shenanigans throughout. I think there's going to be all of the different sports entertainment factors and false things you throw in. There could be a snake thrown in there. Jake the Snake's probably going to get involved. We're going to have Arn probably getting himself involved as well somehow. Those are all of the interference is going to go down, but I'm seeing Archer taking this belt. And I could even see potentially some kind of turn coming in, not from either competitor, but maybe from someone like Dustin costing Cody the match or something, and maybe set that back up again. It's been over a year since we've seen them go at it, and I think it's almost ready for potentially round 2 of that. So I'm going with Archer, though. That's the main point.
Mirza.
It is a tough one to call. By the way, when I said 2 snakes, I meant the python in his bag and also his trouser snake. We saw what he did to Brandy on that segment. It was a little weird. And now both minutes left. Anyway, so for my prediction, I'm going to go with Cody. I think that Lance Archer is fantastic. I love Lance Archer. I watched him back in. Do we need a second? Do we need a break now?
No, keep going, please. I insist.
Sorry, I had to get hand sanitizer. That just felt so dirty.
Starting at the pure.
You saw what happened. I'm not making that up.
Keep
I
going.
completely forgot about it. I legitimately thought I was the second saying it. That slipped my mind.
This one.
Lex, as you were.
Yes. So I'm going to go with Cody on this one. I love Lance Archer, like I was saying. I watched him a lot in New Japan Pro Wrestling, in Suzuki-gun. He was a great, they love their big American badasses over there. Lance Archer was definitely one of them. We saw him in the G1. He was fantastic. He's with the right opponent, he can have a really, really good match. But as much as I like him, as much as I've been enjoying the pairing of Jake Roberts and Lance Archer, I think Cody, he's definitely, since this whole thing began, he's definitely gone out of his way to make sure he's not perceived the same way his father was for a long time. You know, the guy who is in charge of the company, but also is a wrestler who's going to put himself over everyone else, who's going to, just bury all the other baby faces or whatever. Dusty was accused of that a lot by a lot of different guys, holding guys back, things like that. But Cody's been very generous. We've seen he put over Chris Jericho for the AEW championship. He put over MJF in their big blood feud, all that stuff. But I think now is his time to finally get that big win. I think as much as we can praise Cody for being generous with taking losses and wanting to put over the younger guys and elevate other people, what it comes down to is he's still their most popular superstar. I think at this point, I think he's definitely one of the most over guys there. He's one of the most loved guys there. I think one thing that I think it was the New Year's debut or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whatever episode of Dynamite showed us was that there's nothing wrong with the Elite winning their matches. There's nothing wrong inherently with Kenny Omega winning, the Young Bucks winning, Cody winning a match on one show because they are the most popular guys on the show, and people like to see them win. People want to see them win. So I think, like I said, Cody's been very, very generous, and you got to give him credit for that. But I think holding the TNT Championship is the perfect kind of spot for him. I think it'd be good for Lance Archer too. But I think it's very similar to the spot his dad had in WCW with the television championship, things like that. So I think this is Cody's time to finally win the big one, have a championship, have good matches with people, and then eventually down the line put somebody over for it. And just he's Cody. People love Cody. People want to see
right. Let's move along here. RJ.
Yeah, so to add on to what he just said, I do agree with the fact that, Cody has been in the, he's been putting a lot of people over since he got here, since he became, got to AEW. But we don't want to get it to the point where he's putting too many people over. Mm-hmm. However, I think he takes one loss here first. I really like Cody chasing this belt. I do think this is a belt that ends up on his shoulder, around his waist. But for me, I'm just a sucker for somebody that I want to see an inaugural champion as a heel. I want Cody to be chasing this belt. I do think he gets it very soon. I just think he takes this loss first, so I'm going with Archer.
All right. Wolf.
Okay, tinfoil hats. I'm going to take a little bit of what Lex said and what RJ said. I think Cody wins, but I think he does it as a heel. Because they've planted some seeds of doubt, about like Cody, like his integrity, who he is as a character. I mean, why didn't he throw in the towel for Dustin? Why didn't he come out to save Brandy? I mean, there's enough there that the heels sound correct when they're saying Cody's not to be trusted. And I think that maybe they finally, do take Cody and make him a little bit darker. I don't think it hurts Lance Archer at all because, as we've seen with Cody Rhodes, he's going to put on a hell of a match with a lot of storytelling in it, no matter who he's in the ring with. And I feel like the perfect, the perfect tag to that is showing him go to places that he doesn't want to go to defeat Lance Archer. And he becomes that heel champion. And yeah.
Sorry, just as I was going on, once again we lost Pete. Hopefully we can get him back. He's struggling a lot with the internet, so hopefully he is getting an upgrade, folks. He is getting an upgrade very, very soon. So good for him. Just to see, I'm gonna say Archer. I'm gonna join RJ and Pete here. I'm just a huge Archer guy. I remember when RJ weren't a part of or you weren't a part of it, but like last year when we were hold on, Pete is back. Let me quickly add him.
Hi, Pete.
Hey, welcome back, buddy. How have you been? Welcome to Under the Middle Rope. I'm Jose. That's Wolf, RJ.
Hi.
And Lex.
Hi.
So what I was saying was
I left because Lex was waffling.
What?
I'm just going to pretend I left because Lex was just waffling.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was a really big fan of Archer during the G1 last year. In fact, I remember some of us were making a Pete, Wolf, and Lex. We were making G1 predictions, and I picked Archer for the heck of it, just because of my strength on New Japan at the time wasn't too strong, and everybody laughed at me. Archer was a really big standout during that tournament, so I'm really happy with that pick at the end of the day. But no, seriously, since Archer came to EW, he's again his pairing with Jack the Snake could not be better. As much as I love Cody, who to Lex's point, has been great, and I know he wants to kind of like come out on top there, and it's somewhat overdue. I kind of side with RJ. I think one loss and start the chase, and that's where I'm going to go with them. That's some Archer. So we're once again split there: 3 Archer, 2 Cody. So we're in for so far we could be in for a tiebreaker. I think no, not really. No, we'll see what happens as time goes on. So the next match is interesting. It's called a Stadium Stampede match, which I presume is going to be around the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars in that stadium, I believe. It is a 5-on-5 match. Matt Hardy and the Elite, which has Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, taking on the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz. Of course, Matt Hardy made his debut a few months back. Everybody originally thinking he was going to be the Exalted 1-0, and it's thrown into the storyline, which I think is a better suit for Hardy, in my opinion. And of course, everything is like at least reached this turning point or its boiling point when Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle destroyed Vanguard. One tough loss for us all last week for sure. Definitely was hard to comprehend the smashing of a drone. I'm going to start off. I'm going to say Matt Hardy and the Elite, just to get Matt Hardy that win. I think is big. I'm sure everybody would like to see Chris Jericho pick up another win, but I think it's time to share the wealth a little bit. Of course, Kenny Omega is in there, and I know a lot of people were complaining about Kenny Omega not being in a much better spot than where he is now. So I think this is just kind of just will give like a quote unquote good rub for everybody and just give them the win. Let's start with Lex here.
On this one, so I think we all can tell that this match was sort of the, it was going to be the blood and guts match that ends this big rivalry that's been going on since the start of AEW. But unfortunately,
yeah, of course, this was apparently originally supposed to be that blood and guts, the war game style match that was supposed to happen in Newark until the pandemic began. Yes, Wolf was supposed to go, and yes, we all laugh at you, Lex.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this is this is going to be, I think this is going to be the end of this big, for now, the end of this big rivalry between the Elite and the Inner Circle. But for this one, I'm sure it's going to be a very fun match, very exciting, all over the place, kind of maybe cinematic style match, kind of like the Money in the Bank or the Boneyard or whatever else, almost like a deletion match, who knows? But I got to go with the Inner Circle on this one. I think a lot of us were anticipating for the Blood and Guts match for Hangman Page to do something because of the tensions going on between him and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. I think this would be a great time to do that. Whether it's some of us have disagreed whether Hangman should turn heel or whether the Young Bucks should turn heel or what it should be, but I think AEW has been good so far at presenting shades of gray characters, and I think this feud, if they start a real feud between the Hangman and the Young Bucks and Kenny and whoever else, that'll be the time to use those shades of gray, because people love Hangman, people love the Young Bucks. It's going to be hard to have one side be fully heel, in my opinion. So I think if they're going to start a feud there between those two groups, like a real one, I mean, their match Revolution was great, the feud going in was great, but I think now is probably the time to do that. I think if the Inner Circle wins, they get the rub. Jericho can maybe move on to go after the championship again. They're presented in a stronger light here, and we can segue into a feud between Hangman, the Young Bucks, and or Kenny Omega off of something like that. So I think if Elite wins, I don't think Inner Circle has much else they could. They're sort of in a weird spot, I think, if they lose this match. So I would put I would say the Inner Circle should win this one, and the Elite have a built-in sort of out to do something else later on.
Let's go to Pete here, because I know it's been a bit of a struggle, unfortunately. So let's see what he has here, Pete.
Yep. I'm going the opposite. I'm going the Elite.
There we go.
I feel the actual way to develop the feud, the Elite are going to actually win this maybe without the help of Hangman, or only Hangman is going to win, one or the other. So it's going to build up a little bit more tension between them, that he either doesn't play in the finish or only he picks up the win for his team, one way or the other. I think the Elite have been, also I think the Inner Circle being battered and bruised in the build-up of this, so they can just go, well, Sammy Guevara was hit by a golf car. He was pretty much out of action. So I think they can easily just pass off an excuse and move on, and who gives a crap. So I'm going the Elite, but it was a coin toss, and I had a lot of heels in my prediction, so I thought I needed to go for a face team. So I'm going the Elite.
Just before you go on to Wolf and RJ, I think the one thing I'm looking forward to in this match is what kind of dumb like dumb stuff they do. Like the golf cart of like
yeah.
a couple weeks back was hilarious. That was so wonderfully executed. I forgot, there was a meme that I saw. They put a song in it. I forgot what it was, but I had me dying of laughter. So I kind of expect more golf clubs, or I expect like maybe the field goal posts of the stadium. I don't know, something along those lines. Wolf.
I don't know what this match is. I don't
Okay.
think any of us do. But I think we would just all expect them to get creative and probably insane with it. As for who I want, I'm like the world's biggest Chris Jericho fan.
This is true. He is a big Jericho fan.
I actually met him for the first time ever 3 years ago today.
Oh, really?
And he was actually part of the reason that I continued to use the nickname Wolf. I was on the fence about it. And I told him my nickname was Wolfman. He said, well, to be honest with you, I'd rather be called Wolfman than Andrew. So that's part of my Chris Jericho story. I could go on, but I won't because I'm not going to drag. I think the Elite win this because the Inner Circle has done enough without needing that win. So I think the Elite do need to build themselves up a little bit, and that'll eventually lead to what I believe will be Omega turning on Hangman. Hangman, I believe, is way too popular right now to turn heel. I feel like it would be a mistake. And Kenny Omega, like, the story's there that he hasn't been as successful since he left Japan, and we've known that he can be one of the top heels if he wants to be. So I feel that's the direction down the line. I feel like that starts with an Elite win. Definitely some shenanigans between the Elite, and I don't know if the Inner Circle will break up, but I don't think so. But yeah, Elite.
Roy Jordan.
That's me.
Roy Jordan.
Roy Jordan. I remember. I remember.
RJ, gotta stay for something, man.
All right.
Yeah, so it's long. Okay, yeah, Elite and Inner Circle. That's what we're doing. All right. So as Wolf said, who knows what this match is really going to be? Is this a stampede, a fancy word for street fight? Like, you can't go out on the street because we're quarantined, so we're stampeding inside the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium. Is somebody going to get pinned on midfield? I hope so. Is somebody going to get punted through the goalpost? I hope so. They got to do something cool. But I have...
I need that now.
Please put Sammy Guevara over the post.
Just pin him on the 45-yard line.
I do have some solid expectations for this match because, like Lex said, this is probably going to be one of those like overly produced matches, like the Money in the Bank, like the Boneyard match that WWE is doing, which I think has been their best work. So I have good expectations for this. All the talent in this match is awesome. Even if Matt Hardy isn't the wrestler he once was, this is perfect for him in a production style match like the Final Deletion.
Oh yeah.
I also agree with Lex that I do think the Inner Circle would benefit from this victory a little bit more, but I do think that they're going to give Matt Hardy and the Elite the victory here. It just feels like for me that's the way it's going to be set up, and I think they're going to get Matt a quick win under his belt. So yeah, we're going to go with
that. Is 4 Hardy Elite, 1 Inner Circle. I am liking how these predictions are shaping up so far. This is way better than WWE, which is maybe a statement or something of sort. The next match, I am very excited to announce this because I have been dying to announce this. It is the Casino Ladder match. 9 competitors: Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, Rey Fenix, Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and a mystery competitor. And of course, this is not a traditional ladder match. Here are the rules I'm going to put up now for those that don't know. This is a Royal Rumble styled match. 2 competitors will start in the ring. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another competitor will enter in accordance to the number that they are supposed to enter this match. The only way to win this match is to climb a ladder and retrieve a poker chip that is hanging above the ring. And an interesting aspect to this match, all 9 competitors do not need to enter the match for an individual to climb the ladder and retrieve the poker chip to win. The winner will get a future AEW World Title match. And of course, I'm happy to say that because I can't say that style of rules until January for the Royal Rumble. This one is going to be all over the place in terms of predictions. I mean, I don't even think we're going to need a tiebreaker because this is just a big, fun little mess here.
He says that now, but watch everyone pick Colt Cabana.
I was just going to say, you say that now until we all pick Luchasaurus.
So I'm gonna start with Lex again. So Lex, let's start with you. And why is your pick Orange Cassidy?
Oh God!
I was gonna say Orange Cassidy to see your reaction. you beat me to it.
I just want to point out that, like, again, like behind the scene, like obviously, like when we reference a lot in this, RJ's done. Like when we talk a lot, like obviously, like we're all sharing a good chat, we're all communicating with each other. So obviously, nobody knows what goes on in the group chat, so we don't want people to assume that people know one out. But for those that don't know, Lex is one of the biggest fans of Orange Cassidy. Like he loves his style. He loves his comedy, like Lex puts Orange Cassidy above Omega, above Jericho, above MJF, above Drew McIntyre in WWE, above Brock Lesnar.
That's like crazy here.
I'm kidding. Lex severely hates Orange Cassidy's guts. It is.
What are you doing?
No, I personally love Orange Cassidy. I like his style. I know Lex is very anti-Orange Cassidy, but Lex, let's go. Don't explain why you hate Orange Cassidy, because we could be here. This is only
I'm gonna go boil some rice while he takes.
This is only an hour-long podcast, Lex. This is only an hour-long podcast, but yeah, taking why. Here we go.
All right. So when I was looking over the actual list of people, my two top choices were either Darby Allin or Scorpio Sky. I think Scorpio's those are the two guys they've sort of been trying to build through backstage stuff, vignettes, interviews, things like that, as sort of trying to branch them out, especially Scorpio Sky, trying to branch him out as like a singles guy from SCU and everything. Both of them have had opportunities at the title before, but I think as far as just pure popularity goes and everything like that, I think probably I would have to go with Darby Allin. I wasn't a huge fan of the way he lost to Cody in the tournament. That's a whole other thing, but I think he's probably the one that could. He's the guy in that pool of guys I think right now who is the most potential. I think has the most potential to be a world champion at some point. Just popularity, ability in the ring, everything. Put into account there. There are some guys in there that I think definitely aren't going to win, like Kip Sabian, Orange Cassidy, Colt Cabana, whatever else like that. But it's a lot of those guys are good, but I think just of course AEW can surprise us. They're not always the most predictable in the world sometimes. It could just be their maybe they want to elevate someone new, and we don't know who the ninth person is going to be.
No.
Are we going to talk about that, or are we going to?
Well, I mean, like it's hard to say because this could literally be anybody, right? Yeah. I mean, I think when we're talking behind the scenes, sorry,
it's Marco stunned.
100%. I mean, and that's the thing. It could be that's what makes this interesting. Like, and I don't think anybody here is going to predict mystery competitor to win. And that's the thing. This mystery competitor could completely just blow us all out of the water and win this thing. It could be somebody.
A lot of the time, it is the mystery competitor.
Exactly, and I think just sorry to cut you off, Lex, but you're going with Darby Allin. Don't mean to cut you off because I do want to quickly elaborate on the mystery competitor because the other interest, like I said about this match, not everybody needs to enter to win the match. It's not like you have the first two come in, and even before entry number 3 comes out, this match is over. So. And the question is does a mystery competitor come in at 9? Does a mystery competitor come in at 4, at 5? It's there's
not
so many at all. Like exactly, there's so many. What a big swerve.
It's the smoking gun.
There's secretly 8 people, but we're not gonna have time for number 9, right?
We couldn't get another guy.
Sorry, Matt Damon, we ran out of time.
So. It's something there, but I just want to quickly say that just because this could be anybody. I know there could be a few names that could be listed here and there, but I beats me. So Lex, I don't know if you had anything else to add on, but I'm going to presume that that you're ending with Darby Allin as your.
Well, my end point was AEW does tend to throw us for a loop sometimes do something unexpected
which is good.
Build somebody, which is good, yeah. But I think just from what we know right now, logically and everything, I'm going to go with Darby Allin.
Okay, Mr. Atkinson.
Jose said he doesn't think anyone's going to pick the mystery competitor. He is wrong. I am going to pick the mystery competitor to win this match.
Can you just go mystery competitor? Like, is that an available
I am
slot
going
here?
For the mystery competitor. I am going for the 9th person in this match. I look down this
Can that be the
list.
tiebreaker? Pick the mystery competitor.
This is the champion doing this.
That's
all getting
ballsy.
wrong.
Pete, what's your? Yeah.
But I looked down this list and I thought a heel was going to win this match. was my logic. I don't know whether it's Money in the Bank rules or whatever, or it's just a future title shot at a particular date. I don't know, but based on who I think is going to be champion, I think a heel needs to win this match. When I looked down the list of competitors, I did not see a viable heel who can win this match in that pick. Darby Allin could win, but we've seen like Allin and Moxley in the past, and I don't know if they've rushed back at that. You said Sky and Kazarian could win, but that also gives me an inkling who the mystery person I think might be Christopher Daniels. I think he could be that person because he said he's 100% behind Sky, he's 100% behind Kazarian. He's the mystery guy. He actually comes in and wins it himself. To be that dickhead, he shoves them both off the ladder, climbs it up himself. He wins it. So I am going with mystery competitor because it could be Christopher Daniels, it could be a Jeff Cobb, it could be anyone. And I think that's got a better chance than me picking one of these random 8 losers.
Whoa.
I love that.
I love this boldness. I don't even think I need to declare a tiebreaker at the end of our predictions here. But yeah, it could be Pete Atkinson. Maybe Pete is the 9th entry, and then he's just secretly telling
he knows that he's gonna win.
That's why I know I'm winning.
Pete's not a heel though. Pete's pure babyface.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
Pete's such a babyface. Like he's just pure face.
RJ.
Wolf's a heel.
What?
Wolf's heel. No. RJ.
Lex is starting to lean heel to me too, but I don't know much about him yet. But he feels heel.
Oh,
to
well,
me.
that's established.
Maybe tweener. He's tweener.
RJ. Oh, RJ, we need to
Lex
sit
is
for a
a
couple.
full-on heel.
RJ, we need to sit for a couple of beers
Excuse
on Lex's status here. RJ.
Yeah, so I really like the idea of this match, and I really hope it doesn't end up being a bit of a cluster F, because I like the Money in the Bank meets Royal Rumble kind of style they're going to do here. I don't see them finishing this match before the 9th contender comes out. Do you guys see that happening at all? Do you think this could possibly get to that point where they finish it like within 10 minutes?
I think it depends on
the 9th competitor is Kip Sabian. Then yes.
I think it depends on how many like potential contenders are in. For example, like if you have like let's say Darby Allin, Cole Cabana, Kazarian, Scorpio Sky all in, right? I mean, do you expect Orange Cassidy? Do you expect Luchasaurus? You know what I mean? Like that's why I feel like it could happen, and I think it'd be a nice little twist to what we're so used to seeing and just in any professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. So that's my Wolf wanted to. I think Wolf wanted to add on.
Stop saying you think what people are gonna pick. Damn it! You've said like 5 different things that I'm gonna say.
Oh, sorry. RJ, back to RJ.
And I also, as a online poker connoisseur, I love that it is a poker chip that you grab instead of a briefcase / whatever. So that's cool to me. Big fan there. So I was kind of with Pete here where I like a heel winning this match, but I was really struggling to pick somebody on this list that's not Darby Allin. So I personally think this comes down to either mystery contender, which might be Christopher Daniels, like Pete said, or it's Darby Allin, because I'm just kind of looking down the list and I feel like the person that they would want to have a title match or potentially be an AEW world champion is Darby Allin for me. But overall, no matter who wins, I think that this has a lot of potential. You got a good baseman in Luchasaurus who can also do some lucha-style things. And then you got a bunch of high flyers in there. You got Phoenix. You got Darby Allin, who's like basically Jeff Hardy part 2. I can't wait to see what he does in a match like this with these ladders. I think that this is but you know what? I might be talking myself out of that because I feel like Darby Allin might take himself out of this match by jumping off of a ladder now that I say that. But I think this is going to come down to him or the mystery contender. And because Pete was smart and got to it first, I'm going to go Darby Allin.
Darby Allin?
Yeah.
Darby, all right. Sorry?
I went Darby. Is that what we're? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
I thought Pete said something for a second. Wolf, since apparently I presumably talk for you, stir.
Damn it! It ruined. Hang on.
Exactly. Don't just go.
All right. Well, fuck. The gag's ruined. Anyway, it's not going to be Cole Cabana. But okay. So here's what's going to happen. First competitor to enter. What?
You didn't think it'd be Otis either. It could be Cole Cabana.
First person that's going to enter is Frankie Kazarian. Second person that enters is going to be Scorpio Sky. Scorpio is going to put up the ladder. Frankie's going to hold it. Scorpio is going to go up and win, and none of the other competitors are going to enter. Wow. And then, Colt Cabana is going to come out and with a baseball bat and get real bad. So, yeah, this is ending before competitor number 4 enters. No. I'm going to say mystery competitor. There's, hard telling, not knowing, for all we know, it's Brock Lesnar coming in. He's going to, come get the chip. No one saw that coming. This is such a wide open field. Odds are if it's going to be anyone that's announced, it would be Darby Allin because he has the most steam behind him. But I'm going to go with the mystery competitor because, there's just that mystery there. And I could be eating my words in a week. And, we're looking at, future world champion Orange Cassidy. But I will say that I don't think the mystery competitor is anyone that was just released from WWE because they have the 90-day no compete. But I wouldn't be so far as to say it's not somebody that's not in the company currently. So I don't know who the mystery competitor is. Odds are it could be Christopher Daniels, but I'm going to go with the mystery competitor.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it might be somebody who's not in the company yet either. I was just struggling to figure out who that would be other than maybe like Drew Gulak, but I don't think that's really – I think that's too quick.
Yeah,
he didn't re-sign his contract, so he doesn't have that 90-day no compete.
Right, and I'm not sure
is that really who they would go with here? And like, he seems like somebody who goes back to WWE anyway.
Let's go with Lex. Let's go with Lex here.
Well, I was going to say I'm not sure if the people who were released have a 90-day because they didn't ask to leave. They weren't like they were just let go en masse. So I don't know if
it's not impossible.
If they have to follow that.
Yeah, it's not impossible. And I thought I heard that there was a 90-day anyways because for example I think we would have heard for example the announcement of Gallows and Anderson going somewhere, right? So
well, I mean they've been teasing going to Japan.
I'm going to be very bold here. Then I think it's Matthew Cardona there. If we're here next week and the mystery competitor wins and that mystery competitor is Zack Ryder, I want a special secondary championship made.
Yeah, I'll give you some props for that.
And even if he's in the match and doesn't win, I still want something.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a stretch.
Okay, all right. That saves me some Photoshop time because that ain't happening.
We don't want to be all friends wrestling.
Sorry,
we don't want to be all friends wrestling, even though it kind of already is.
Yeah.
Okay.
45 minutes. We made it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
you're welcome.
Look. This match is so all over the place. I was about to say Colt Cabana, and then I realized maybe I shouldn't say Colt Cabana.
Maybe you should be smart.
Yeah, maybe you should be smart.
Go with your gut, Jose. Go with your gut.
Go with your gut.
Like, what are the gut thoughts that I was thinking that and this could affect the next match that we're about to predict, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of the mystery competitors is the Dark Order to potentially continue that Moxley Brody Lee, depending on the result of the next match. So let's say that if Brody Lee doesn't make it, then all of a sudden one of his Dark Order buddies can come in, get that opportunity back.
That would be so unhype. That would be so unhype. If it was Evil Uno or Stu Grayson or Ken, that would be the most unhype thing ever.
No, it's going to be one of the nameless goons.
Yeah, just the nameless goon.
No, it's going to be Owen.
No, I saw a good one. One of the new Dark Order goons should just be a 7-foot tall dude with a red beard sticking out of his mask, and they just never address it.
Exactly.
Everybody knows it's Rowan, but you just never ever.
You never talk about it. Shout out Brandon Stroud.
I thought Wolf was gonna say that he was hoping it was a guy that was 7 foot tall, and he just can't teach that. So,
how many times do you want me to leave? Jesus!
Imagine Big Cass won. Oh my God.
Imagine Enzo winning.
I hope he's healthy. I know he had his health issues, but I'm perfectly fine not seeing Big Cass.
Okay, let's get back to ground zero here. Yeah, this is so all over the place, but I like all your points about the mystery competitor, so I'm gonna go with mystery competitor as well. Because
you know what, I'm sticking with Darby. I should have got mystery competitor too. Damn.
You guys are so intriguing about.
This guy says nobody here is going to pick mystery competitor, and he goes and does it himself.
I'm altering the deal.
Because I hear what you guys are saying, and I like to give your opinions an open chance. That's why I say mystery competitor. Because I really
Jose, how's the ride? Because you're riding our coattails.
I'm enjoying it. Thank you. Shotgun has been fantastic.
I feel like you said your gut was Colt Cabana, and if he somehow does win, you're gonna hate yourself.
I will. I'm very excited for that. No, I'm gonna go Mr. Competitor. I think in all seriousness, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the debut. I don't know who the debut could be. It could be like Wolf suggested, but I don't know. There's something about that mystery competitor. They would leave it a mystery for a reason.
Yeah.
Who's
the craziest possible person this could be?
Haku.
CM Punk?
Brian Cage.
Okada.
Gilbert.
And Zone Cast.
David
So
Arquette.
that's
No, stop
David.
talking about them.
Vince McMahon. He's the higher power.
all right. So that's 3 mystery competitors, 2 Darby Allins. And of course, this mystery competitor could be literally anybody. So we'll be in for a fun one there. And the last match of Double or Nothing is, of course, the AEW World Champion, everybody's favorite, Jon Moxley, taking on the Exalted One, Brody Lee. And of course, Brody Lee made his debut back in March.
It's weird to hear the phrase "everyone's favorite" and not have it be sarcastic.
No, it's amazing. It's like, I mean, because I know how many times I've said everybody's favorite for you, Wolf, and then I was sarcastic on that. But for Jon Moxley, it's such a genuine,
Kind of is everyone's favorite.
it's a genuine favorite. Yeah, Brody Lee debuting back in March when he made his debut. Of course, for those that don't know, Brody Lee is former WWE superstar Luke Harper, which everybody wanted him to have some sort of a push in WWE. Didn't get it. Now he's in AEW, and all of a sudden everybody's calling him a Vince McMahon ripoff. But I mean, Brody Lee is good, so let them say what they want to say. Revealed as the leader of the Dark Order. Of course, on May 6th, on that episode of Dynamite, Dark Order attacked Moxley after the match that Moxley had with Kazarian, and then Lee asked for the world title match, got it, and here we are. So I'm gonna go first because I straightforward, Jon Moxley. I don't see them ending that anytime soon. I don't think they should. I mean, not that Brody Lee is not a viable competitor and not like a viable contender for that title. Not yet. I do not see them getting rid of that title, not yet, because of how popular and how much attraction that Moxley has been getting since his debut in AEW. Why end that now? That would be, I think, in my opinion, I think it'd be a bit silly if that happens, but that's just what I got. Wolf, let's start with you.
Okay. This is kind of hard because there's a way you could see it going either way. Lex, don't shake your head. I know you're about to. I don't see them ending Moxley's reign yet. And this is coming from someone that was pushing for Luke Harper to be added in the Bray Wyatt-Randy Orton match at WrestleMania 33 so that it wouldn't have turned into some sort of giant bug slideshow.
It should have happened, frankly.
God,
the way that was set up.
match.
I think Brody Lee is one of those characters kind of that doesn't necessarily need the title like an Undertaker or a Bray Wyatt. And I don't feel like the difference here, though, I don't think that he'll be ruined by this match. I think he'll have a really good showing of Jon Moxley because we've seen them compete together before in CZW and WWE. They always have a solid match. This could go, I don't know. Well, I'm guessing we're going to do time predictions in a little bit. It could go the distance. Brody Lee comes out of it looking really good, and Jon Moxley retains. So I'm going to say Moxley because I don't think Lee will need the title, and I don't think he'll be harmed by losing.
RJ.
So this is a bit of a tough match for me as well. I loved Luke Harper in WWE. I thought he was so misused. I thought that, just like Will said, he should have been in that triple threat match. I love a big man who can wrestle in the ring like he can. He's got the look. He's a good wrestler. He's got good power moves. He can do it all. But I do disagree. I think that he could really benefit from winning the title. I think that there might be some people that think of him as a WWE cast-off and Bray Wyatt's lackey. And I really think that if they really pushed hard and gave him the belt in a strong run, I think that Brody Lee could really benefit from winning the title. I think he's going to win it right away right here? No. Or maybe I do. I don't know. This is a tough one, man, because I want Brody Lee to win. I do think that he would benefit from being a champion. I would like to see him with a singles title because I was such a big fan of him when he was in WWE. He got that 20-second Intercontinental title reign, which he could have had a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
And he put on good matches with Ziggler in that too. So I really do think if they run with Brody Lee and give him a strong heel title push, I think that he could be a good champion. I think it could really benefit him, but I do think they're going to keep rolling with Moxley for the time being. So I think that Brody could benefit from winning this title, and I do think that he is a potential champion in the future, but I think it's got to be Moxley. He's just the guy.
Let's go with Pete because I think Lex has a lot to say on it, which is why I want to save it for last. Pete.
I think Brody Lee is going to win that AEW championship.
All right.
But not at this show.
Let me scratch that.
Yeah.
Big, but not at this show. I think down the line, he is going to hold that title. But I think it's too big of a knee-jerk reaction to bring him straight in and put the title on him straight away. And it looks a little bit too much, in my opinion, like WWE cast off, wins the title, too quickly. I think
Yeah.
you've already
That's a
had
big
Jericho and Moxley as your two title holders. I don't think your third title holder is going to be another ex-WWE star.
That's a good point.
I just don't think that's the right decision to make. So I'm going with Moxley for now, but I think at some point Brody Lee will have that title. But Moxley's winning this match.
All right, Lex.
Contrary to your presumption, I actually don't have that much to say about this.
Oh.
I've seen
Well, you're just eating your words all day today, Jose.
I've seen. Okay, if you want me to
jacket,
talk,
though.
I'll talk. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying that how could AEW? Well, this is the main event. This is a match on WWE superstars or WWE main event show or whatever. Like this is not like a pay-per-view main event or whatever. And it's like I get it. People who I don't want to call them ignorant, but they have not everyone can watch every indie in the world, but I think it's been shown over the years that Moxley and Brody Lee have a lot of they have a lot of history, they have a lot of chemistry. They can have a really good match together. So I'm looking forward to this match. I really am. But for this one, I got to go Moxley too. I personally, unlike what people are saying, I don't necessarily think Brody Lee's going to win the World Championship at any time soon. I could see maybe winning the TNT Championship or something like that. But I think just the position the Dark Order is in right now, I don't know. I feel like it just wouldn't. It would feel kind of like just an artificial move to just sort of make the Dark Order feel like this big impressive thing when they really so far they really kind of haven't been. I think they having him as the leader was a good move, but I still feel like they're sort of not at the level that maybe AEW wants them to be perceived as far as like a group. There's one guy who's a star and the rest are just kind of, as Brian Alvarez would say, geeks. So. I got to go with John Moxley on this one. And Brody Lee could be a champion one day, but I think now's not the time.
All right. So we are all unanimous there. So we have 3 unanimous matches in total. Everybody's gone for Britt. Everybody's gone for MJF. Everybody's gone for Mox. Our differences are with the AEW Women's Championship, 3 for Sheeta, 2 for Nyla. With the TNT Championship, 3 for Ryder, 2 for Cody. With the Stadium Stampede, 4 for the Elite and Hardy, 1 for the Inner Circle. And in the Casino ladder match, 3 for the Mystery, 2 for Darby Allin. Just in case, because right now I cannot do math, it could be
pretty mixed up.
It's a very, very well mixed up. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. This could be a tiebreaker situation. So of course, this tiebreaker once again, we're going to go to the length of the world title match. Originally, I was about to say, why don't we do a tiebreaker? I'm like, when do we think the mystery competitor could come in? But that could be just a big mess. So I'm going to say. I'm gonna say no again. Just a note here that I just got. Yeah, Pete and I once again are matching in predictions.
Collusion.
So
because Jose went back on his word and went for the mystery competitor.
Yeah. Weenie.
He is copying you, Wolf. He is copying you. He didn't want to go mystery, and then he's copying you technically, but. He's got the same picks as Wolf, though. So, yeah.
All right, here's a tiebreaker for this prediction contest. Once again, the length of the World Championship match. I am not going to go 6 minutes this time, as that severely burned me at Money in the Bank.
What did it end up last night?
14
minutes or 12 minutes or something like that?
That match went like 10 something, I think.
10:55.
Yeah, there we go.
Because
I
went 10:45 and was 10 seconds out. And guess what? In the first prediction contest, I was like 20 seconds out.
You went under too. Price is Right rules and everything.
Yeah, and last time I tried to go Price is Right rules, I got roasted. So
you're the worst.
All right, I'm gonna start off 17-12. This is gonna go a while. There's not too many matches to start with, and it's the world title. They love to put emphasis on the world title. 17-12. I just feel like I just shot myself in the foot. RJ.
I kind of feel like this match that could go a long time too, but it depends how long they go the ladder match for, in my opinion. So this is kind of a tough one because if this ladder match ends in like 4 people before the 9th person comes out, then this main event would have to make up some time. But I do think that the ladder match is going to go a decent time as well. Man, this is a tough one because 17 minutes is kind of right around where I was thinking, and I don't want to be that that goes 17-13 on you.
Do it.
But that just starts the train. Then Lex goes 17-14, Pete goes 17-15, and Wolf's the champion because he just kind of
Because
No,
I'm not an
Pete's the
idiot.
champion. Pete's the champion. Let's get
and then Pete goes 1 second to take the championship in Price is Right style. Dang, I'm gonna go 1804.
Ooh, damn it.
You're boxing him in.
1804. Pete, to defend your title.
I'm not even joking here. Before anyone said an answer, I legit thought my prediction was going to be 17-15. Before anybody said an answer.
Do it.
Oh,
Do it. Be completely identical.
I'm going to go. I'm trying to think now. I'm looking at the other match. I'm trying to look down the card, roughly work out how long matches are going to last. You got Stadium Stampede in there, that could go a while.
Mm-hmm.
Cody vs Archer could go quite a while. I'm going to go 1905.
This is good. So we got 17, we got 18, we got 19. Wolf, do you want to go 20?
I want to go 2307.
2307?
Yes.
Take the second, Lex. This is all you take 1 second. Price is Right.
Jose doesn't know how that works.
Yes, I do. I just messed up my explanation. That's all.
I'll take the lower. Go 17 exactly. You get everything lower.
That's smart.
Lex.
That's my turn.
Watch him do that.
Okay, these are two guys who are not, the fastest people in the world. These are two sizable dudes. I don't think they're going to be going freaking 100 miles an hour in this match.
I was expecting him to.
We're talking about Moxley and Brody Lee, right?
Yes.
Storytelling in this match.
Yeah.
No, the other world
High speed ahead, maybe not.
Okay, this is my first time here. Give me a break. This is two guys. They're not, their work rate, as people say, is not the highest in the world. Doesn't mean they're not good, but I think it's going to be slower, methodical kind of match. Also knowing AEW, how they do like to go pretty long with their, especially their big matches. I'm going to go with 2506.
God damn it.
All right.
2506.
So let's run that down one more time. I got 1712. RJ has 1804. Pete has 1905. Wolf has 2307. And Alex has 2506.
Damn.
For
I'm in
the
a
love
tough
of
spot in
God,
the middle.
for the love of God, if this is a 2-minute match.
who picked the lowest? Who
I did.
got the lowest number? Oh, 2 minutes. You win.
No, I know I win, but I'm not talking about like.
It depends on the rest of it, obviously.
Wait. What was your prediction for Money in the Bank?
My prediction for time.
Your prediction for Money in the Bank. Like, what was the
my
time?
prediction? My prediction for Money in the Bank was 625. I did go
What if
lower.
it goes exactly 625?
You win both showcases?
You win anyway.
I know. I just want to see his face.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go lower again, but I think this prediction is better than my last prediction because Bray Braun could have been a squash. Like, where are we kidding?
You didn't mean to go low here either. We just all upped you a little bit.
Exactly.
You just happened to go first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just kind of stink at this.
Gotta go first. Well, gentlemen, that is that. Thank you again. I'm going to presume that we all are able to. Oh, I know I'm able to make it better. If you guys are all able to make it next week, that'd be great. If not, we're sorry. Of course, once again, AEW is tomorrow night, as this is being put out on a Wednesday night. If you're a patron. So thank you, gentlemen, once again. Let's get to the closing. You made it to the end of the episode. Let's go to the predictions one more time. And of course, I just want to be very clear that I did not mean to match with Pete again. But of course, who the heck will believe the host? It was completely unintentional, but it is what it is. The graphics going to appear if you're watching on YouTube. If not, here's what you got. Everybody went Britt Baker across the board. MJF went across the board. Pete and myself went with Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship. RJ, Wolf, and Alex went with Sheeta. For the new TNT Championship, RJ, Pete, and myself went with Archer. Lance Archer, Wolf, and Alex went with Cody Rhodes. For the Stadium Stampede match, everybody but Lex went Hardy and the Elite, as Alex picked the Inner Circle. For the very interesting Casino Ladder match, Pete, Wolf, and myself went with the mystery competitor, whoever that may be. RJ and Alex went with Darby Allin. Everybody picked Moxley to retain the world title. And of course, the tiebreaker of the world title match, I went with 17 minutes and 12 seconds. RJ went with 18 minutes and 4 seconds. Pete went 19:05. Wolf went 23:07. And then Alex went with 25:06. Now, due to editing constraints, this is all recorded before the go home match. If anything else gets added on, it will be revealed next week on the Fallout show. And of course, that is only if the match made it on the main card. No pre-show matches, no buy-in matches will be included for prediction's sake. Although I have to say that it feels like everybody that's been on TV or it feels like everybody that they put emphasis on in storylines has made it to the card. I don't think there'll be any other matches on. Of course, we will update you next week on that. Everybody should be back for the most part. So sit back and hang tight. And of course, that is that. Thank you so much for watching. Support me on Patreon. Help support the podcast. Follow me Facebook, Twitter, and of course, you can get this wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to me here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jose Tabuada. We will see you guys next week for our Fallout. And enjoy Double or Nothing.